All right, today we're doing a full review of my 6-month in experience with my Santa Cruz Heckler CC e-bike. Let's get started. So bottom line, spoiler alert, I absolutely love this bike. You know, there's a lot of heated debates online about e-bikes. I'm not gonna get into all that. My philosophy is go ride, go have fun. If it puts you on the trail, ride it. So this is the Heckler CC. It's a class 1 e-bike, so it doesn't have a throttle like a class 2 or 3 e-bike. And my understanding is you can probably ride it on your trails wherever you're at. Definitely check. You know, you don't want to make the trail builders mad, but it's not going to be rooting up the trails and tearing it up like a dirt bike or a class 2 or 3 e-bike. I've absolutely loved this bike so far. It's got a Shimano EP8 battery that has 720 watt battery life with 85 Newton meters of torque. Now it does have a removable battery, so if you're taking a long trip, if you are going to be riding all day and you're worried about battery life, you can get a spare battery. They're not cheap. I think they're around $1,000, but if you're really into taking long e-bike rides, you can get a spare battery and swap it out midday. It just takes a 5mm Allen key and you can pop the battery right out. I've really loved this bike. It's been everything that I've wanted. I've always just had analog bikes, and I wanted something else as kind of a trainer and something else to just have fun on, and this has been a lot of fun. To me, the e-bike has been a tool that has helped me on my other bike, my regular bike. So it's helped me get up climbs that I couldn't do on my other bike as I'm learning as a mountain biker, and it's been a lot of fun. So we've got a power button down here, powers the unit on. I will say with this, I've had great battery life. I haven't had any issues, but once you power it on, you've got a couple different modes. So you can ride it like a regular bike powered off, but it's about 50 pounds. It's a heavy bike, so I wouldn't recommend that. But it's got eco mode, which as you pedal, it's going to give you a little bit of assistance, not much at all. Trail mode, which is what I usually spend the majority of my time in, it's going to give you a little bit more power. And then you go all the way up to boost, which gives you quite a bit of power. I don't use it that often, but it is a lot of fun. So my Heckler CC is in the avocado green colorway. I am 6'2", and this is an XL size frame. I'm usually on the border between getting a large or an XL. I went with an XL, and I will say it feels fantastic, no issues. Let's talk a little bit about Geo. It's got 495 millimeters reach on this XL. It's got a 64.8 degree head tube angle and a 77 degree seat tube angle. It's pretty slack. There are more slack things out there. It's perfect for what I need it for. Let's take a look at some specific areas of the bike. So the version I got is the XO1 version, kind of their premium top of the line model. I bought it complete and have kind of switched some things out to tailor my riding style and what I like and things that I didn't like about what came on that XO1. So let's start with the cockpit. It came with carbon bars, Santa Cruz bars. I had an issue cutting them. It was probably my fault. So I decided to switch the bars out to these 1-up E-bars. They did come stock 800 millimeters. I cut them down to 770, which is usually what I run on all my bikes. They did come with SRAM code RSC brakes. That's my one complaint you're gonna find today. I really didn't like the SRAM brakes, as a lot of friends of mine will attest to. They're good, not great. So I swapped them out for the Magura MT7s, with the HC3 lever. I absolutely love this lever. It's perfect for one finger engagement. I've got them bedded in pretty good, and they just do what I want. They stop when I want. That's what you need. BergTech Enduro stem. I swapped some bolts on it. I put some Trail One gold colored bolts on it. It's got a Cane Creek headset. The Shimano EP8 battery does, of course, come with this screen, so you can see your miles per hour. The Class 1 e-bike does top out at 20 miles per hour. The motor will not engage faster than that. I've gone faster than that, you know, going downhill, but that's just from natural downhill speed, not from the motor. The fork is the Fox Factory 36. It's got the Grip 2 damper. Lots of adjustability in there for high and low speed compression. It does come with Santa Cruz Reserve carbon wheels. They feel stiff, they feel great. The front is a Reserve 30 with an Industry 911 hub, and the rear is a Reserve DH with also the Industry 911 hub. It's a nice loud hub, lots of engagement points. I've had no problems with the wheels so far. It came stock with the Maxxis tires. I've got an Assegai in the front and a Minion DH-R2 in the rear with the Max Grip EXO Plus protection. The cassette is a SRAM XG1295. Out back, of course, we've got the XO1 wireless derailleur. The cranks are Shimano EM900s. And of course, you know, when you get a bike, you pick your own pedals. So I went out and got these 5-dev in a colorway called Cash. You've got the Fox Transfer dropper post. I prefer the RockShox Reverb. I just feel like it's a little bit more responsive. I haven't had as many issues with that one. Everybody's different, but I tend to like the RockShox one better. And the saddle, it's a WTB Silverado. The rear, we've got 150 millimeters travel on the RockShox Ultimate Deluxe. The Santa Cruz does have their proprietary VPP suspension system. These aren't cheap bikes, but I think they're very well made, and this one has really stood up to everything I've thrown at it. But just like any hobby, you start to get into the nicer end of equipment, and nothing's cheap. You know, I don't care if you go golfing. If you want to get some custom clubs or some higher end clubs, they're going to be expensive. So, you know, you get what you pay for. I think this has been a great bike so far. If you want an e-bike, I would definitely recommend this one. Now, if I didn't get this, what would I get? There's a lot of options out there. I really like the Pivot Shuttle SL. It doesn't even really look like an e-bike. It doesn't have this fat down tube. It's really slim. You don't get a screen with it, which there's pros and cons to that. You know, we're looking at screens all day, so sometimes it's nice to not look at a screen, but that Pivot is really nice as well. That was my runner-up, my second choice, but I just couldn't pass up the deal on this one, and I've really enjoyed it so far.